Hey, what's up guys? So we're going to be talking about the misplay or cheating that happened at YCS. Now, this just recently happened and a lot of players have been messaging me about it and they're asking my thoughts on it. Well, for me, I know misplays happen. Sometimes you're caught up in a game. You synchro with something that's a non-tuner. You synchro with something that requires an earth and you use like a dark or something like that. It happens. You've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For like, 10, 15 hours, the whole day. You get kind of tired. It just happens. It's just how the card game works because, there's not something that monitors the game. There's not a computer that tells you exactly what happens. But for you guys wondering what actually happened, I'm going to get to the very end of it. So this happens in Game 3. This is basically towards the very end of Game 3. If you guys want to read the entire article, I'll put a link down below in the description box. But basically what happens was someone activated a card, when they already knew that the opponent probably had something. They realized they misplayed and they're like, no, I'm chaining it to this. But anyways, here's what happened. The Mermaid play has a Abyss, Spike or Turge. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. A Deep Sea Diva and a Linde. And his back row is an enemy controller, and he's playing against Infernities, and the Infernity player, he already top decked a launcher from previous turn, so he draws it. He activates it and sends it to the graveyard, and he targets the Infernity Archfiend and Necromancer in his graveyard. And then this is what they write in the article. Then chain Infernity Break, which is totally legal in their aspect. But this is the problem with how they wrote it. The thing is, what actually happened was, apparently, I wasn't there, so this is just word of mouth, and, a lot of players were agreeing with the person that said, like, the judges were kind of, like, helping the guy cheat. So what happens was, the guy actually, goes Infernity Launcher, he targets the cards, which are fine, but then he placed them on the field. Once they've been placed on the field, they are already summoned. You can activate Infernity Break, that's fine, but since the monsters are already on the field, and if you guys don't know what Infernity Break is, I guess we should briefly go over the card. Anyway, so you activate if you have no cards in your hand, you select one Infernity card in your graveyard, you remove it from play, and then you select one card your opponent controls and destroy it. So basically, he's just, in a sense, he's just popping the back row, which is fine. But if his monsters have already touched the field, they've touched the mat, and you can target them, and then, you can chain Infernity Break. That's totally cool. And, the way they wrote it, yeah, that would be totally legal. But the thing is, since the monsters already touched the playmat, the Infernity cards, that is, the Infernity Archfiend and the Infernity Necromancer, and then him activating Infernity Break after the monsters have touched the field, the Mermaid player, because we targeted the back row, the Mermaid player can still activate the enemy controller in response to Infernity Break. Econ is chainable to pretty much anything in the game anyways. So he's activating enemy control. He wants to activate enemy controller. It's not going to happen now because the judges ruled that it was okay that the Infernity player did so. So I'm not trying to call out the guy that topped, playing the Infernities or anything like that. It's just more so just think your plays through before you actually, make them, because this can cause a lot of problems in the game because, you'll always have players accuse you of cheating, and the way I look at it is he probably saw that he should have activated Break before he actually put the monsters on the board. Then he decided to say that he was chaining to it, and then there you go. There's the cheating, misplay, whatever you want to call it. But honestly, the way I look at it is that after you play Yu-Gi-Oh for so many hours, sometimes misplays happen just because you're too caught up in the game. It just happens. At the YCS, what was it? This actually no. It was at Nationals where one player had game, and then he attacked for enough damage, and the other players continued playing. Maybe that they were just so caught up in the moment, math was wrong. Maybe they're just as bad as math, as I am. But yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to call anyone out, but I'm saying that make sure you think through with your plays before you actually go through with them, because like I said, once the monsters have actually touched the field, they're on the field. You activate Infernity Break, that's fine, but then the other player can still chain enemy controller, and that's really where the problem was, where the Mermaid player, he was not allowed to activate enemy controller, because apparently after the monsters were on the field, he wanted to chain the Break and then pop the back row before, I don't know, it didn't really make sense before what, because, the monsters have already touched the field. He can still chain enemy controller, but unfortunately, he was not able to do so. So there's the article for you in the description box if you want the full read. It's a lengthy article, but yeah, like I said, keep in mind, always make sure you think through your plays before things happen. But anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Asian Eyes, signing out.